Prep Week presented by Principal. Welcome to Boise and Starch Madness. The Big Sky Conference men's semifinal number 2. Earlier tonight, an upset. Montana beat Portland State, and the nightcap has the 7th seed, the Vandals from Idaho, looking for win number 20, taking on Eastern Washington here in downtown Boise. A look at our bracket for Starch Madness and the Big Sky Tournament as Montana knocked off the champs, held on for a 3-point win. So Travis Secure and the Grizz will get the winner tomorrow night of Eastern Washington and Idaho. Two schools separated by about 75 miles, right up I-95 up in the Palouse, but we're about 5 hours away down in downtown Boise for Idaho and Eastern Washington. And Ben, a spot in the championship game on the line.
Well, it's a big opportunity. You know, both these teams earned their right. They played good basketball. Should be an interesting matchup. I think both coaches have done a great job with their team.
Ben Braun, Roxy Bernstein, our ESPN crew here in Boise for this one. And there'll be star power on display when you look at Idaho. Isaiah Brickner was big in their win over Montana State to get to this semifinal match.
Well, he hit some big baskets. He's a smart player. He does a great job. He's a guy that can knock down threes. I mean, but he can take it to the rack. He's fearless. He's going to have to step up tonight against this team, this hot team from Eastern Washington.
It's been a tale of 2 seasons within one for Eastern Washington. For the Eagles, they got off to a miserable start, but then got hot, and these two guys were pivotal in beating Weber State last night, as both Alton Hamilton IV and Isaiah Moses each with 20-plus points.
Well, the junior and senior have given Dan Munson much what they've needed. I mean, they stepped up. That game was anybody's game, and they had a nice lead, but they did a great job down the stretch of the game. Isaiah Moses showed you what he can do. He's a dominant type player with the ball. Love what they did.
So Eastern Washington, we mentioned the turbulent season that they had. They got off to a miserable start, second year for Dan Munson, back up in the Pacific Northwest, but they've won 8 of their last 9, including winning here over Weber State last night to get to the semifinal matchup.
Well, he can fly any plane for me with turbulence because he knows how to handle turbulence, Roxy. He's been up and down and he's had challenges in his career. I've known Dan a long time, knew his dad, legendary coach, and he's a competitor. You know, you just get used to seeing him come late in March.
Just a couple of years ago, he made that run with Long Beach State. And the season recap for the Eagles. On the other side, Idaho, and Alex Pribble, 1 win shy of 20 wins this year, and they're hot as well. Idaho's won 5 of their last 6 coming in.
Well, as you know, I've known this guy a while, Roxy, and his career has been nothing short of spectacular. He's done a great job with the Vandals. He's built his team. They've gotten better and better. He's an even keel guy. He's a competitor. His team really knows how to play, and they compete.
Idaho finished 9-9 in the regular season. They're the 7th seed in the Big Sky Tournament, where Eastern Washington on the other end of the floor is the 3 seed. As Dan Munson, who has been at Gonzaga, Minnesota, long run at Long Beach State. And the interesting twist on this one, you mentioned his dad, Don, but Dan Munson is an Idaho grad and now coaching against his alma mater tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting how this basketball world, it's a small world, but, you know, a lot of pedigree here with Dan Munson. And, you know, it's a story, obviously it's a story everybody knows now, taking his team, knowing that he was not going to return all the way to the NCAA. I mean, that may happen more and more these days. Who knows? But he's getting a chance to bring his team and get it 1 game away from going to yet another NCAA tournament.
And if you're not familiar with that story, 2 years ago, Dan Munson was the head coach at Long Beach State. He was fired prior to the Big West tournament, but was given the opportunity to complete the season with the team. They went on to win the Big West tournament in Henderson, Nevada, and went to the NCAA tournament. And oddly enough, they're matched up with Gonzaga, where he got his first head coaching job.
Yeah.
But head-to-head this year, the Vandals won both tight ball games, including playing just last Monday in the game in Cheney, Washington.
Well, the Vandals are going to hope to do what what obviously the Grizzlies did in our previous game, our first semifinal, and that is beat a team for the third time. A lot of people, a lot of coaches say it's hard to do. I'm with Travis DeCura, and I know I'm with Alex Pribble. Give me a win anytime. I'll figure it out from there. But, you know, winning breeds winning, so he's going to have to do it for the third time. But, you know, he's played well against this team. But now you have to play against a team who's really playing their best basketball, obviously, in Eastern Washington.
And the Vandals have won twice already here in this tournament as they beat Sac State. They blew out the Hornets on Saturday night, beat them 68-45, and then played Sunday night, knocking out the number 2 seed, the Bobcats from Montana State, where they shot 56% from the floor against Montana State, and they were just 4 of 16 from 3. Now, Idaho relies on the 3 heavily, and that's helped them get to this semifinal matchup with Eastern Washington. And you look at the record of the Eagles, right? They're 14-18 overall, but went 11-7 in the Big Sky. They were 2-12 after losing at Idaho on January 3rd. They're 12-6 since.
Yeah, that's how to bounce back from adversity, and Dan Munson has done that. This should be an interesting matchup for sure this evening.
Opening tip, Eastern Washington in the white as the better seed in the home uniforms, and Idaho in the black. Alton Hamilton, the 4th, backing his way in a career-high 25 in that win to get to this semifinal matchup last night against Weber State. Driving to the bucket, Isaiah Brickner with the game's first points.
He's really coming on for this team. Love the defensive pressure to start the game by the Vandals.
Brickner, who averages 12 points per game. Here's a 3, and that's way off from Tyler Powell, the Nevada transfer, and it belongs to Idaho.
Yeah, like the double team to start the series. They made the kick out, rotate, and challenge the 3.
Here's some pressure from Eastern Washington. Starting 5 for Alex Pribble and the Vandals. Pico Johnson weaving his way in. Shot clock down to 10. Colton Mitchell, sophomore point guard, attacks. Mitchell finishes in the lane.
I love the ability, again, to concentrate through contact. There's little contact there, no problem. Finish the shot. Good start by the Vandals.
An Eastern Washington team that had their 8-game winning streak snapped last Monday by Idaho. Winners of 9 of their last 10. Looking to go inside. And following up the miss and still unable to get it to go is Kyrie Huey. And there's a whistle underneath, out of bounds. It belongs to the Eagles.
Well, you can see that Eastern Washington's trying to go inside. They're going to have to go up against a guy that's a pretty big guy in Brody Roberry. A little bit foul prone sometimes, but it's a tough guy to go up against.
Isaiah Moses, speedy point guard, transfer from UC Riverside, and a 3 by Cole Scherer. And the freshman, who was scoreless, playing just 2 minutes last night with the game's first points for the Eagles.
Dan Munson must know something. Not surprising.
He started now each of the last 13 games with a former Mr. Basketball in Colorado and was the 2-time Colorado Gatorade Player of the Year. 5 to shoot for the Vandals. Pico Johnson, a crossover step back. That one rims off, but an offensive rebound. Jackson Rasmussen will try again. Had it stripped, out of bounds, and Eastern Washington comes away with it.
Yeah, that little dribble cost him. He could have taken it back up. Might have gotten the ball knocked out of his hand.
Down the lane, and the lay-in for Kyrie Huey.
Good job by Eastern Washington attacking the rim.
Huey, a transfer from Miami. And the first lead for Eastern Washington. Pico Johnson on the drive for Idaho.
Well, he did that last night down the stretch of the game. He was huge for the Vandals. He's going to have to step it up tonight against Eastern Washington.
And a foul out top. It's on Pico Johnson, his first.
Yeah, you watch Johnson. I mean, he's got the ability to just get by you. I mean, with spin moves, attack the glass. Players today so good at using the glass.
steal. Good defense. Colton Mitchell read it perfectly. Mitchell, who started his college career at Idaho State, and then transferred to Idaho and one. Brody Roberry underneath.
How about the hands? I mean, watch his zip pass. That was a rocket. He caught it, went up, got contact, and finished through contact. Referee give him a little pat on the back, say, nice job, big fella. E.J. Nelson. I like when officials do that.
First on Isaiah Moses. Roberry, a 72% foul shooter, recently went over 1,000 career points. Played at Southeastern Louisiana prior to Idaho, and he's a former Idaho Gatorade Player of the Year. 6'11" senior from Meridian, Idaho. And the rebound there is Kyrie Huey for Eastern Washington. All 8 points for Idaho have come in the paint. Attack in the lane. Huey crawls over the front edge of the rim. Huey had just 1 point against Weber last night, playing 12 minutes, and already with 4. And a foul off the ball, and it's a hold on Stratton Rogers of Eastern Washington.
Good job by Roberry setting the screen, and then when he got the contact, selling it to the officials. There's no question. When you're a big guy, you got to sell it, because sometimes you don't go down. And so you got to let him know, hey, I got hit. He's sometimes a victim of his own strength. Much improved player, Roberry. The officials doing a good job talking
Moisture
to the
on the basketball.
Yeah, I like it.
Need to wipe it off.
It's early in the game for Sweat, but these teams are working.
8-7 Idaho. Nico Johnson backing his way in. A fadeaway by Johnson.
He's feeling it, Roxy. I mean, that's just a rhythm shot. Doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's going to get that shot off, and he knocked it down with confidence.
Isaiah Moses. The runner too strong from Cole Scherer. And it belongs to Idaho. The Vandals up 3 early. Semifinal number 2, Starch Madness in Boise.
Yeah, they're up, Roxy, and Biko Johnson's got his signature all over the start for the Vandals. He's able to create, get space, finish in traffic.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. 10-7 Idaho, semifinal number 2. Starch Madness in Boise. And you can understand the reference, being the potato capital of the world.
I can, Roxy, understand it. I'm going to go get some spuds. Don't trust me. I didn't come here for just basketball.
Call me shocked.
Yeah, well,
You're going to eat, Ben Braun, really?
I'm going to find the best spud they got in town, and they've got some options. But, you know, we're really fortunate to be in Boise. This town has really picked up this tournament. They've done an excellent job here. We've had some great crowds. Speaking of crowds, Idaho with some fans here, as you would expect. They've got some alumni here, and Alex Pribble hoping they'll make some noise for his Vandals.
And Moscow, Idaho, well up in the northern part of the state. And again, right down the road from Eastern Washington, these two schools separated by less than an hour and a half. Right down I-95. With Pullman in the way, although if you get caught for speeding in Colfax between the two towns, that could delay you as well.
I have.
Colton Mitchell, step back jumper, and it's Idaho by 5.
Nice find in Eastern Washington, went to his zone. Dan Munson, you know, showing a little adjustment after the timeout, went to the zone, and the Vandals solved it.
JoJo Anderson, the former Vandal, now with Eastern Washington, drives. Shot clock inside 10, up 1 foot, and throwing it up with Stratton Rogers, and the rebound grabbed by the Vandals. Attacking to the basket, off the window and in, Isaiah Brickner.
Well, he's tough. He's got the ability to get by you, finish with either hand. Nice start so far for Idaho.
6 straight for the Vandals have made their last 5 shots. of bounds. Will stay at this end. Eastern Washington ball.
You see again, you talk about Brickner, his ability. I mean, the defense is set, we think, and he just splits defenders and gets to the rim.
Attack in the basket, and it wouldn't fall for Kyrie Huey, and the Vandals grab the rebound. Mitchell, who was bothered by a back issue late in the season, forced him to miss a couple of games. And a step-back three from Colton Mitchell.
Well, he's feeling it. I mean, he just put the 3 fingers up like, that's me. I got this. I got it going on. Confidence.
9 straight for Idaho. Mitchell already with 7. And the first 3 for the Vandals, who make over 10 per game, leading the Big Sky in made threes. Alton Hamilton. Shot clock down to 3. Reverse layup and a foul will get Kyrie Huey to the line for Eastern Washington.
You want to talk about confidence. How about Colton Mitchell just stepping back? He beats his defender into the paint, steps back and knocks it down. Interesting defensive alignment here on this end of the floor. You've got the Vandals playing pretty much face guarding Isaiah Moses. They're taking him out. They're not allowing him to really handle the ball and make plays, so that's going to put the onus on the rest of this Eastern Michigan squad. They're going to have to make plays because their senior is going to be limited on how many times he gets touches.
One more for Kyrie Huey, first year at Eastern Washington after a year at Miami. Also had a year at Idaho State prior to going to the U. And then 2 years at Odessa Junior College for Huey. He goes 1 for 2 from the line. Jackson Rasmussen, the Big Sky Freshman of the Year. And a foul that's on Elijah Thomas, and his first.
That was a smart play to be able to draw the foul. Isaiah Brickner knows he's going to be defended snugly, so he draws the foul.
Here's Brickner in the corner. Colton Mitchell, long way behind the line, way off with that one. And the rebound, Emmett Marquardt for the Eagles. A little bit of a heat check from Colton Mitchell. That was Steph Curry range.
Yeah, felt it.
3 short from Elijah Thomas, out of bounds. We're going the other way, Idaho ball. Wins over Sac State and Montana State for Idaho. And Eastern Washington, because they were the 3 seed, only had to play once. And they beat Weber State last night.
Now you see Eastern Washington back in that zone. Brickner had a chance, had a thought.
And a foul. If that's Isaiah Moses, that's his second.
That's significant, Roxy, because without him, he's already struggling a little bit offensively, much to the delight of the Vandals, who are pressuring him, but he's going to have to come out of the game. That's too early to allow him to play with 2 and pick up an early 3rd. Big break for Idaho.
Leading scorer and assist man for the Vandals, or rather for the Eagles, and Moses will have to sit with the 2 fouls. On the drive, the shovel underneath, and foul +1. Seth Joba for Idaho.
Isaiah Brickner made that play, Roxy. He showed you his ability to blow by you, and watch this dish. I mean, he set the table for his teammate. Here's a blow by. Look at that. A no-look, drop off, dime. Thank you very much. Got to take your teammate out of lunch.
Joba's 62% foul shooter, the transfer from Vermont. And he gets the old school 3-point play, and it's Idaho out in front 20-8. 12-1 run for the Vandals. Underneath, and a foul on Joba, his second. That will put Alton Hamilton to the line for Eastern Washington.
Yeah, I like Alton Hamilton's tenacity and persistence on that play. He was one-on-one. He said, you know what, I'm going to have to get a shot up one-on-one. You're not going to guard me without fouling me, and that's exactly what happened.
Hamilton, who transferred up a level, last year was the Conference Player of the Year playing at Lewis and Clark, which is in Lewiston, Idaho. where he averaged 17 points and 10 rebounds a game, was the Cascade Conference Player of the Year.
Well, he had a great career. He's shown you his ability now to get to the line. He's done that this year.
Second team All-Big Sky for Hamilton. He's had 20 or more in 4 straight and 5 of the last 8 games down the stretch for Dan Munson.
Very efficient player. 57% field goal percentage shooter.
And he hits both free throws. Ten-point lead for Idaho.
2-2-1 back to the 2-3 zone, matchup zone. They're going to match it up on the ball, one guy on the ball. Now more of a 1-2-2 look. Vandals trying to figure it out.
Colton Mitchell fouled on a 3, and he'll shoot 3. The second on Elijah Thomas. Boy, how many times are we going to see it? A guy gets fouled on a 3. Idaho up 10.
All right, fans, time to select a lucky roll for tonight's Carolina.
20-10, Idaho leading Eastern Washington. Alex Pribble and the Vandals, the 7th seed, jumping out in front of Eastern Washington, and they're attacking tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. They're playing defense, turning it into their offense, getting to the rim. They did a very aggressive start for the Vandals. You can see their ability just to be fearless to the basket. Not settling, just taking it to the rim.
Colton Mitchell will head to the line to shoot 3 shots. Already with 7 points to lead Idaho. And the Vandals searching for win number 20. 3 straight wins for Idaho. They've won 5 of their last 6. And finishing this strong into Starch Madness with a lot of momentum.
Colton Mitchell.
3 shots for Mitchell. 80% foul shooter. I'll mention All-Big Sky this year, leading Idaho in assists. And he also has the ability to get to the foul line.
Well, here's a call that Dan Munson wanted to say, look, my player kicked his legs out. I didn't see it personally. Thought there was some contact. Thought the officials made a good call in that play.
One more for Colton Mitchell. Dan Munson, 2 years at Gonzaga, took the Zags to the Elite 8, then propelled that into the Minnesota job. Had a 17-year run at Long Beach State.
Well, Roxy also propelled Gonzaga into Gonzaga. And people forget he had some good things going there. And Mark Few has obviously done a whale of a job since. But, I mean, he was part of something very special.
Bulldozing his way inside was Alton Hamilton. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Hamilton out of the double team. JoJo Anderson fires. 3!
Well, nice job out of the double team. Really good job of ball rotation. Although the Vandals did a good job defensively, Eastern Washington just a little better job offensively.
Anderson, a senior from Spokane, was with Idaho last year. Averaged 2.5 points per game for Alex Pribble, and then transferred down the road a little bit closer to home. Miles Clapper in the game for Idaho. Sophomore from Hillsborough in the Bay Area. And Clapper has his shot blocked. And it touched Elijah Thomas out of bounds. Will stay down here. 1 on the shot clock for the Vandals.
That was a smart play just to keep that ball alive by the Vandals. I mean, really smart play by Jack Payne, who knew he was losing the ball.
Catch and shoot. And that'll be a violation. As Brody Robury with the double clutch. And that's a turnover against Idaho.
The double clutch with a second to go doesn't get it. He had a chance to shoot it, probably just didn't get his balance, but good opportunity.
First Vandals giveaway, and a 10-point lead for Idaho.
Something the Vandals don't do a lot of is turn it over.
Corner 3 open is Elijah Thomas. And on the weak side, the rebound grab. Pico Johnson is pushed, and a foul on Eastern Washington. And that's the 7th. And we'll have a 1-and-1 at the other end for the Vandals. And it's the first on Emmett Marquardt.
Idaho's playing good defense. They're doing a good job of defending. Their early approach to the game was to take the senior guard, Isaiah Moses, out, but they're doing a good job of covering down.
1-1 for Biko Johnson, 73% foul shooter. 6'2" guard. Now with 5 points on the night. One more coming for Johnson. Leads his Idaho team in steals in his 4th school in 5 years. And it's Idaho by 12, matching. A correction, they have led by 13 at one point. Joe Anderson. Inside, the step through falls off, and a foul going for the rebound, and Eric Curry, our official on the baseline, says will stay at this end. And the effort by Kyrie Huey results in an Idaho foul. First on Brody Robury.
Well,
14th foul on the Vandals. In the lane. And the left-hand flip and the roll. Nicely done. Stratton Rogers for the Eagles.
Good job by Eastern Washington getting a score. They needed that basket. Back to the man-to-man by the Eagles.
Open in the corner. Trevon Blasingame missing a 3. And Miles Clapper had the rebound knocked away. And here comes Eastern Washington. 4 on 3 for the Eagles. Slicing to the bucket, and a foul will get Stratton Rogers to the line as Jack Payne was airborne.
Yeah, great job in transition, taking advantage 5 on 4. Obviously playing with a man down, Idaho, but Eastern Washington really driving, finding the open man. Nice basket cut and the draw and the foul. Great job.
65% for Rogers, senior from Eagle, Idaho. Another transfer up. He's from the College of Idaho. And Stratton Rogers spent 4 years at the NAIA level. 8 points off the bench for Rogers. Back in 2023, helped lead the College of Idaho to the NAIA National Championship. He was also the Cascade Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. Rebound grab by Jackson Rasmussen for Idaho. On the shot clock for the Vandals. Biko Johnson spins baseline and an offensive foul, a hook. D.G. Nelson right on it. Good call by D.G. Nelson. The hook was clear.
Yeah, he did a nice job of getting by his defender with a little help from his arm.
And a second foul on Biko Johnson.
Well, you got now Isaiah Moses returns to the game with 2 fouls. Got to watch his foul production here. Keep it down.
Ten to shoot for the Eagles. Isaiah Moses, open 3. Cole Scherer from deep. And the rebound rustling for it. And the alternating possession, we're going the other way. It's Trevon Blasingame and Kyrie Huey battling. And the arrow belongs to Idaho.
Well, there's a long shot. And there's a rebounding war inside. There's good job. I think Eastern Washington felt making the case that they had the ball. Again, they're going to take Moses out, try to give him a little bit of break, not have him pick up a foul. Anytime they can give him a rest defensively, they do not want him to pick up the 3rd foul.
And it's interesting that Idaho's been going inside tonight. The Vandals, 47% of their field goal attempts on the season are outside the arc. They shoot a lot of 3s. But tonight, 1 for 4 outside the arc, while they are 8 of 10 inside. Jackson Rasmussen knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Cole Scherer of Eastern Washington.
Well, and Roxy, a lot of that's because of who you are. When you're a 3-point shooting team, you know, teams are going to get out there and make you drive now until you prove it. But the Eagles, I mean, the Vandals are proving they can't score it inside. They've been really good in the paint. Short clock.
5 on the timer. The scoop. And here come the Eagles back the other way. Emmett Marquardt moves in. Marquardt relocates. And the long rebound, Colton Mitchell. Here comes Idaho. Isaiah Brickner fires. In and out on the 3. And the rebound, Emmett Marquardt for Eastern Washington.
I like the look in transition. Open threes are pretty good.
JoJo Anderson thought about it. And a foul on Idaho as Stratton Rogers was gathering. 7:51 left first half. Idaho up 25-16. Well, it's fitting that we have Idaho playing Eastern Washington here in the Big Sky tournament as Don Munson, Dan's father, passed away last fall. At the age of 92, was in the Idaho Athletic Hall of Fame. 5 years he was the head coach of the Vandals. Took him to 2 NCAA tournaments, 2 Big Sky titles. In fact, made a Sweet 16 run with the Vandals back in 1982. And then Don left Idaho, took the job at Oregon. But Dan Munson, who was an Idaho graduate himself, was actually a football player for a year at Idaho. But following in his dad's footsteps as a coach. And one of my favorite things about Don Munson was when Dan was coaching and Don was in attendance. When he was a little bit younger than the last few years, the free throw rattles in, one more for Stratton Rogers. It was always kind of a game to find where Don Munson was sitting, because he would go hide, sit up high, just away from people.
He did it at Oregon too when I coached there, but I got to know Don and obviously his family, his wife, and you know, just legendary. And his son, I know how proud he was of Dan and his career. He didn't miss many games, Roxy, and was there just Long Beach, all the stops, often.
And the special thing for Dan Munson the last few years was he got to spend more time with his dad coming back up to the Pacific Northwest. Sure, it's unfortunate what happened when he got let go of Long Beach State, even though he made the NCAA tournament run after he was already fired. But the three-pointer missed by Eastern Washington, kept alive by Colshare. But he was able to come back home, a silver lining, to spend more time with his parents. As it rolls in and one, Kyrie Huey for Eastern Washington.
Yeah, I didn't see much of a foul. That's just me, but I'm not as close. Thought there was pretty good verticality. Even they're calling probably a bump earlier. Yeah, they said it's kind of on the body.
7-0 run for Eastern Washington. And Huey with that unorthodox free throw will head to the line to shoot the N1 free throw. Second foul on Brickner, and also Biko Johnson has 2. That's a problem for Alex Pribble and the Vandals. And the rebound grab by Miles Clapper for the Vandals.
Yeah, much as the Eagles have to manage Isaiah Moses, now Alex Pribble's got to make some decisions.
Jackson Rasmussen attacks. Spins inside, gets to the bucket, and one for the Big Sky. Freshman of the year, Jackson Rasmussen. His first points of the night.
Well, Roxy, watch his persistence. I mean, he gets into the paint, 2 feet in the paint, spins off, pivots, just textbook chin to chin, never brings the ball down and draws the foul. Chance for a three-point play. I mean, that's just textbook.
Freshman scoring record this year for Rasmussen, averaging 14 a game. He was the #1 prospect coming out of Idaho last year. He's from Meridian, Idaho, although he went and played at Utah Prep. And the rebound falls to the Eagles. Inside 7 minutes to go first half. Idaho by 7. They've led by as many as 13.
Yeah, Idaho's in the zone now. They've gone to a 2-3 matchup.
And a travel, JoJo Anderson.
Yeah, I like the adjustment. I think both coaches have done a good job adjusting. You know, sometimes you've got to take teams out of their rhythm, and I like that Alex Pribble went to the zone, and it reaped its rewards. Turnover.
And it's out of bounds, and miscommunication, and Idaho with a giveaway.
Well, you hate returning a favor with the favor. He earned the basketball back on a turnover. Alex Preble not happy that his team just kind of unforced error turns it over. Unfortunately, they've been playing pretty good defense. You got Isaiah Moses back in the game. Let's see if he has any better luck. He was being face guarded. Now he's playing against his zone. See if he's going to get some better looks.
Gets into the paint. The drop off. The layup missed by Johnny Radford. Miles Clapper emerges from the pack for the Vandals. Jackson Rasmussen going to work. Stripped and stolen by Johnny Radford.
These teams are like mirror images of themselves. They just make plays at the rim. They got some good hands on the floor. Dig downs.
The spin by Moses. Then off balance, and the rebound. Here comes Colton Mitchell. Brody Roberry moving in. A three from the wing, too strong from Jack Payne, the Colorado State transfer, the Boise native. And it's grabbed by Eastern Washington.
Three-point shooter couldn't knock it down.
In the lane, Kyrie Huey has 9 to lead the Eagles.
Yeah, nice job by Moses finding the big fella. Eastern Washington creeping back in this game. They were down, but they're now on a run of their own.
Brody Roberry moving in. Spins, and he's mugged. And 2 shots coming for Brody Roberry. It's the second on Alton Hamilton.
Well, you got Moses back in the game. He's able to get by his defender and now find his teammate. He's good at that. Moses really good with the assists.
Rattles out for Roberry. One more shot coming. We got you covered. Selection Sunday once again. It all starts at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with SportsCenter. On ESPN, Reese and the guys look at the men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced, followed by bracketology and breakdowns of each region. Then at 8, the women's field of 68 is revealed. The complete breakdown of each matchup at 9 Eastern, all coming Sunday. Brody Roberry now 0 for 3 from the line.
Vandals electing to stay in their zone.
JoJo Anderson gets inside. And the layup for Alton Hamilton.
Well, that shouldn't happen against the zone. I know Alex Preble's team electing to go zone, but good job by the Eagles.
Jackson Rasmussen. Tough shot in the key.
You mentioned it, Roxy. It's the Idaho Vandals that are continuing to attack the paint, even though they are a good shooting team. They're doing a great job.
16 points in the paint for Idaho. Alton Hamilton gets down low. JoJo Anderson rims out a 3. Rebound grab by Idaho and a foul.
Well, how about the shooting, Roxy? You've got the inside out. I like it. And they move to the basket. Count it. The Vandals attacking the paint with success.
And Alex Preble would love to get them dancing, but first they have to deal with Eastern Washington tonight. And then whoever wins this game will battle Montana as the Grizz earlier tonight. knocked out the Big Sky champs Portland State, the top seed. And so it's Montana against our winner tomorrow night for Starch Madness Championship in Boise. And one more free throw for Jack Payne. And Payne nails both, and it's a 7-point Vandals lead. Eastern Washington just 36% shooting and 2 for 9 from three-point land. They're going inside, and Kyrie Huey has the shot changed underneath, and the Vandals come away with it.
Yeah, good presence inside by Roberry, avoiding the foul.
Step back, and a 3 too strong from Colton Mitchell. And there is Isaiah Moses grabbing the rebound, the smallest guy on the floor. He drives. Moses fouled and will get to the line.
Well, he's laying down like, okay, I finally got to the rim. It's been a tough night for him. But look at his toughness. You can see he's got an eye and a body. Just he wants to get to the rim. A little bit banged up, but he's a competitor. I mean, you're going to have to really stay in there with him.
Second on Jack Payne. Isaiah Moses, the top foul shooter in the Big Sky. 93%. Looking for his first points of the night.
He hit some big baskets and free throws for his team last night to secure that victory.
Big Sky Newcomer of the Year and first team All Big Sky for Moses. Last night, 22 points, 8 assists in their win against Weber State.
Well, Alex Pribble, you know, obviously it's his game plan today. He's making a concerted effort to do something about Isaiah Moses. You got to you attack the other team. You got to start with their best player, their most valuable guy.
You know a little bit about Alex Pribble, don't you?
Yes. He'd write a book. He was quite a competitor. My days at Cal was on some of the best teams we had there. He was not only a good player, he was a captain.
Played for you, also coached for you at Cal. As a foul on Kyrie Huey. And free throws coming up for Alex Pribble's Vandals. And he came to you as a walk-on.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, that some people don't understand. You know, you're still all-league. You're all player, all-state, wherever you are. But he came here academically, came to Cal, qualified, came in and earned his way. I remember Louis Reno, our assistant, saying, Coach, I think we got a scholarship, Alex Pribble. I said, we're not even going to vote on that. That's done. And the rest is history. Next thing I know, he's talking me into putting him in for our injured Richard Midgley in the game against nationally ranked UCLA. What do? We beat him on the road in Pauley. So Alex Pribble's no stranger to success, Roxy. He's been a winner as a player, and he's done an excellent job taking a Division II program and winning, and also his stops along the way in Seattle and now with the Vandals.
Jackson Rasmussen now 0 for 3 at the line. As Alex Pribble played for Ben Braun at Cal 2004 through 07. Isaiah Moses the miss and the rebound grab by the Vandals. As a head coach at Division II St. Martin's for 4 years. Went to 2 NCAA tournaments at that level. As Jackson Rasmussen has shot blocked and a foul on Idaho.
Well, they might have missed a goaltend. That ball was off the glass and got hit. But if it's going on the way up, I guess, yeah, you know, this is a hard one to gauge, but it gets off the rim and then gets blocked. Now, if they're saying that ball hit the rim, off the backboard, if it hits the backboard under the rim, then it's legal. But that's pretty close. I don't know.
10th team foul, 2 shots for Kyrie Huey. The second foul on Brody Roberg. And the free throw rattles out for Huey.
Well, good news is Huey gets to the free throw line. Been there a lot this year, but his percentage is down about 59%. As you mentioned, unorthodox. Hard to change, you know, shooters once they've been in this habit for all the years. You just want them to make sure they're shooting it the same way every time and try to help them get the rhythm.
And the rebound ripped away. Emmett Marquardt for Eastern Washington.
That's not going to please the Vandals coaching staff, giving up offensive rebound on a free throw.
JoJo Anderson gets the roll off the heel of the rim. And Anderson with 5 off the bench for the Eagles. And it's a 3-point game with 2:20 left in the half.
Big turnaround. The Eagles can capitalize.
It was 13 for Idaho. Jackson Rasmussen into the lane. on the timer for Idaho.
Yeah, short clock here. If you're the Eagles, you got to force it to the outside. Not a lot of time to operate. See if they can stay. They're going to go back man, get out of their zone. Referee trying to get a little passing space here.
Here's a long three off the inbound, missing everything is Trevon Blasingame. And the officials are going to get together. D.G. Nelson talking to Michael Mojica underneath the hoop, and now Eric Curry also joining the conversation.
Well,
the shot clock expired, but did the ball go out of bounds first and touched by Eastern Washington? There's going to be one on the shot clock, last touched by the Eagles, and it's an Idaho ball on the baseline.
Well, they were in the same position earlier in this half and couldn't get a shot off as Roberry couldn't get a shot. So they're right back in the exact same position. They got to get it, catch and shoot quickly. It's not going to be a dribble. It doesn't have to be a tip, but it's got to be a catch and get it up. Also depends on who's the clock here. On the clock, I always used to say, take your time. Let's not rush ourselves.
Payne from the corner. Three! What a huge turnaround for Idaho.
Textbook execution on a 1 second clock.
JoJo Anderson spinning. Anderson the leaner. And the rebound and rustling forward, falling to the deck. Seth Joba and Kyrie Huey, and the arrow belongs to Eastern Washington.
Well, watch this three-point shot. I mean, that's just a zone look, and you lose shooter. Yeah, you're allowed to catch and shoot, but that's just a great play to get that shot off and nail it.
And the frustration from Eastern Washington because they felt the shot clock should have expired.
Yeah, you got to get over that pretty quick, obviously. Boy, they're just really smothering Isaiah Moses, face guarding him. They're not guarding anybody.
Moses into the key. Tough step back. And the rebound grabbed by the Vandals, then poked out of bounds by Eastern Washington. Idaho ball, 1:22 left in the half.
You know, Roxy, when you're getting face guarded like that, there's a couple of options. And first, let's just take a look at it. Go back again. Here's that three. There is a fake screen and a slip. A good deception there, and that's legal. That play came off on time. But you're playing against, we'll talk more about it later, playing against face guard coverage. You got to do something to kind of free yourself or your teammates because your man's not helping. Here's the zone look again by the Eagles. They've had some success. They're matching up, doing a good job. One on the ball.
Trevon Blasingame into the paint. Fall away by Blasingame.
I don't know how he got that to the rim. He was being smothered inside and just fouled away.
Night for Trevon Blasingame, and Idaho has pushed it out to 8 after it was 3. Johnny Radford drives. And a foul, no. Tie up, arrow, Idaho ball.
A pretty good call. I thought that was clean. The Vandals, I mean, they're all over the ball. There's a dish off, but the hands, I mean, there's just multiple hands on the ball. And I go back to Alex Pribble as a player. It's how he played, Roxy. He was one of the more aggressive players I've coached, and his teams play that way.
And Alex Pribble will take his use it or lose it timeout. 8-point Idaho lead. The Vandals trying to get control of the game again.
Oh, they did, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
36-28 Vandals. 35 seconds left in the half. And Idaho, after Eastern Washington rallied to close it to within 3 after being down by as many as 13. And Idaho has now pushed it out to 8 and a chance to get it back to double digits again.
Yeah, they'd like to use as much of this clock as they can and give Eastern Washington only a 10 seconds or under chance to attack coming back.
Colton Mitchell. And the long 2, and the rebound knocked around, and the Eagles control, and they can play for the last shot. Here comes JoJo Anderson. 5 seconds and a half. Anderson, the pull-up jumper. And the rebound knocked free, and that'll do it for the first 20 minutes. 36-28 wouldn't have counted anyways, even though it rattled out from three-quarter court. 36-28, Idaho with the lead over Eastern Washington. We saw one upset earlier today. The 7th seed leads the 3 as we go to the studio and the halftime report. You're watching Champ Week presented by Principal. It is Starch Madness in downtown Boise. Getting ready to start the second half of our second semifinal from Idaho's Central Arena, with the 7th seed Vandals from Idaho leading the Eastern Washington Eagles 36-28. And the point guard for Idaho, Colton Mitchell, setting the tone for Alex Pribble and the Vandals.
He's done a great job of just searching and finding and taking what the defense gives you. I mean, he's a good shooter, so he's got the ability to get to the rim, but he's just finding ways to make his teammates better. He's able to create space, get his own shot. I mean, those are just tough baskets. He's not bad defense, just better offense. And he's really been a thorn in the Eagles' side this half.
10 points to lead all scorers in the game, as Idaho shot 50% from the floor in the first half. Eastern Washington only 32%. Both teams went 2 for 9 from 3. Attacking right off the get-go, and Alton Hamilton with the bucket.
And that's exactly where they have to go, Roxy. They've attacked with their lead player getting to the rim off of a elbow catch. Nice play call coming out of that locker room.
It's Ben Braun and our ESPN crew. Roxy Bernstein with you in Boise, as a 3 missed by Biko Johnson. And the rebound trickles out to Colton Mitchell, who fires from deep. And a 3 is off the mark, but the follow from Jackson Rasmussen, the Big Sky Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, great follow-up. Thought there was a foul. At least Colton Mitchell thought there was a foul. No call, play on, but a nice tip.
Winner gets Montana tomorrow in the Big Sky Championship in Boise, as the Grizz earlier tonight knocked off the regular season champs, the top seed Portland State. The Vandals run the floor, deflected out by Alton Hamilton. It stays with Idaho.
Yeah, looked like maybe a foul, but there's the tip. More importantly, play on. And boy, Dan Munson up on the sideline.
He wants to challenge this out of bounds call. He was frustrated because nobody was hearing him.
Now I heard
at the other end of the floor.
I heard him, and you heard him, and the fans heard him, but officials on the far end of the court. And that's a rule, Roxy, I think they may have to revisit, is how soon can you make a call? How does a coach get the attention of the officials if you're at the other end?
Black ball out of bounds.
Call is under review. Challenged by Eastern Washington, Dan Munson. 8-point lead Idaho early in the second half in semifinal number 2. So a coach's challenge on that last out-of-bounds call. Eric Curry with his back to us. Our lead official working with D.G. Nelson and Michael Mojica. And the call on the floor was out-of-bounds Idaho ball.
I think it might have hit his fingertips.
After further review, the call is overturned.
Oh, it is.
Ball goes to Eastern Washington. They retain their challenge.
Not enough evidence.
It'll be white ball.
Didn't look like the ball changed direction, but I thought he had some long fingernails.
Call reversed. And Dan Munson wins the challenge. And it's an Eastern Washington ball, which means they don't lose the timeout. And Eastern Washington will have one more challenge remaining the rest of the night, as they were correct on their challenge.
Well, sometimes coaches have the luxury of going to their video coordinator. Sometimes they don't. They got to go on their teammates or their players, their suggestions.
Back in his way in Alton Hamilton. And a foul, a push in the post. And it's on Jackson Rasmussen of Idaho, his first.
Well, that's a dilemma now for Idaho. Do they double down as they were doing in the first half, or do they allow a one-on-one post up to take place?
Isaiah Moses, pull-up jumper, and Moses with his first field goal of the night, and it cuts it to a 6-point game.
Yeah, it looks like Idaho's changed their defense a little bit. They were in a face-guarding mode in the first half. They're playing a little differently this half, at least early.
Mose is the guy that Idaho can't let get started because he can change this game in a hurry. And a shot blocked, and a loose ball picked up. Cole Scherer for Eastern Washington. Hamilton. And that'll be a tie-up, and the arrow belongs to Idaho.
But you can see now, again, Isaiah Moses hasn't had much looks. They're now playing and sagging off of him. First half, they were denying, face guarding, doing everything. You give him some room, though, he'll hurt you. They may go back and revisit that, but you got to mix it up a little bit. I understand coaches not want to give you a steady diet of one defense.
The double team coming. Jackson Rasmussen down the lane, and he lost it going up. Here come the Eagles. And the layup, Kyrie Huey, and it's a 4-point game. Huey leads Eastern Washington tonight with 11. Colton Mitchell, the teardrop. First points of the second half for Mitchell.
He makes it happen. He just goes over the top of a bigger defender. He's a tough cover. Yeah, they're going back to the face guard now on Moses. Now they're class sagging off a little bit on the post catch.
Alton Hamilton spins underneath and the reverse lay-in.
And that's the danger of not putting a second defender down inside on the double team.
Rasmussen attacks. Quick dart inside, and the layup. Isaiah Brickner gets the roll.
Well, Brickner did that last night in the quarterfinal game. He's doing it again in the first half, going back to what he's been successful doing. He's an attack player. Big time drive.
103rd meeting of Idaho and Eastern Washington. Here in the semifinals of Starch Madness, the Big Sky men's basketball tournament. Downtown Boise. Isaiah Moses lost the ball, leaking out ahead. Isaiah Brickner lays it in.
That's a big turnaround, nice steal, nice prying of the ball.
Moses down the lane and spins it in. Back and forth we go. Colton Mitchell missing a three, and the rebound, Isaiah Moses hustling up the floor. Moses down the lane, pass deflected, and a tie-up, and the arrow belongs to Eastern Washington. 6-point game, 15:23 to go, tight one.
Well, Isaiah Brickner, he getting you out on the break. He knows what to do. He can finish with the best of them. Idaho hanging on, they're up 6.
Our NBA ESPN Wednesday doubleheader. Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs take on Paolo Banchero and the Magic at 7:30 Eastern. Then it's Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray and the Nuggets hosting KD and the Rockets. NBA Countdown Crew tips off your coverage at 7 Eastern. Wednesday doubleheader on ESPN. And I'm sure the Countdown Crew will break down the 83-point performance tonight of Bam Adebayo, who was 36 for 43 from the free throw line. He shot 22 threes, making 7 in the second most points scored in an NBA game. 83 tonight for the Heat. Shot clock winding down, and Kyrie Huey again for the Eagles.
Well, he's been there for the Eagles all night. He's made some big baskets, keeping them close. 2-3 zone being employed again.
Nico Johnson.
Now they're back to man-to-man.
Johnson missed the flip, and the rebound, Alton Hamilton for Eastern Washington. Third game in 4 nights for the Vandals. And the arrow belongs to Idaho on the tie-up.
Yeah, you can just see Isaiah Moses just not in his rhythm like he's been. A lot of that credit to the Vandals defense. They're changing it up on him. They've been really tough. They've given help on the dribble. They've been a face guarding, limiting his possessions, only taken 3 shots, still doesn't have, or he has 1 basket for the game. So Eastern Washington still trying to figure out what to do to try to get their senior leader going.
Colton Mitchell. Brickner trying to drive. Spinning Isaiah Brickner and a foul. It's on Emmett Marquardt of Eastern Washington, his second, and 2 free throws coming up for Brickner, the senior from San Diego, the transfer from Marist.
Well, that's a smart play. I mean, what he did is he waited for this mismatch, and it was a mismatch because he's got the big fella coming out and guarding him. Eastern Washington switching ball screens. He isolated and knew he could take his defender off the dribble and draw the foul.
Brickner has become more of a factor toward the end of the season for Alex Pribble in Idaho. As Brickner, a 75% foul shooter, came off the bench. 22 of his first 23 games this year. But now Brickner has started each of the last 10. And he's got 9 points tonight. At 15 in their win Sunday night against Montana State. After they hammered Sacramento State on Saturday.
Well, Brickner was huge in that game, and he's had those kinds of games.
Approaching 14 minutes to go. Huey powers his way inside. Out of bounds off of Eastern Washington. And the Eagles think they should challenge this, that it's their ball. Is Kyrie Huey motioning to his coach, Dan Munson.
Yeah, that wasn't unanimous. I got to have 5 of my guys telling me to challenge, not 1. I think that went off his foot, but you got to be pretty sure. You know, Coach Munson waiting for his video coordinator to affirm, not confirming.
No challenge. They still have 1 remaining after he was successful earlier here in the second half. And Mitchell throws it away, trying to connect with a slicing Seth Joba.
Yeah, right idea, but just didn't get together on that play. When you roll, you've got to have a rolling lane to the rim.
Isaiah Moses, pull-up jumper.
Yeah, there was just no help on defense. Again, Isaiah Moses now starting to heat up a little bit, starting to feel himself.
He's got 8-6 since halftime. He's down the lane and falling back. Isaiah Brickner missing everything, and it's grabbed by Eastern Washington. Here comes Moses. And he lost it out of bounds, a turnover by Isaiah Moses.
Yeah, it just hasn't been his night. I mean, again, a lot of it credit to the defense, but that's what he does well. He's so good at that, coming off screens, pulling up, not getting all the way in the lane, and now he's going to take a seat, just kind of collect himself to the next TV timeout. But, you know, give the Vandals credit. Alex Pribble and his staff making a concerted effort to try to keep his number and his possessions down.
Idaho in the semis of the Big Sky tournament for the 2nd year in a row. The first time they've done that since 1993-94.
That's a drought. Nice play by Hamilton.
And a steal by the Eagles. Alton Hamilton. And a foul will get JoJo Anderson to the line. And Alex Pribble frustrated at the other end, thinking there was a travel in there.
Here's that play. Not a lot of contact, but Hamilton's made a difference, Roxy. Comes in, he's been on the bench, comes in, makes a steal on one end, and then makes the distribution on the other. I mean, he's alone. You got to do something in your game plan. It's not just Moses. You better do something about Alton Hamilton. He can make a dent in your defense.
Third foul on Isaiah Brickner is JoJo Anderson, 71% foul shooter, played for Alex Pribble last year in Idaho. But that is college basketball 2025,
yeah, welcome,
26.
And welcome to the new age.
With the transfer portal.
I'm glad that I didn't have to deal with that too much because we had some awfully good players. Who knows?
Down to a three-point Vandals lead. This is as close as Eastern Washington has gotten since the early stages. Jackson Rasmussen, free!
Yeah, he's been waiting for that shot to go down. You can see he wanted it. I mean, he sized it up, he eyed it, and it's nothing but bottoms.
Huge shot by the Big Sky freshman of the year, doubling the lead for Idaho. Alton Hamilton. Baseline pull-up. And the weak side crashing, keeping it alive on the offensive end, but Hamilton couldn't get it to go. And a tie-up, Eastern Washington ball.
You like the three-point shot? I know Rasmussen likes it. He sees it, he sizes it up, and he knocks it down. The Vandals in the lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement benefits plan that works for your team. ACC brackets and the ACC tournament, which started in Charlotte today. And Wake Forest in overtime gets past Virginia Tech. SMU with a big win. Andy Enfield's team needed that. 20 wins now for the Mustangs. Tough loss for Kyle Smith and Stanford, losing at the buzzer to Pittsburgh. And the Cardinals sit and wait their fate on Selection Sunday now. JoJo Anderson, and one!
Well, that's a big play coming out of the timeout. I mean, aggressive play. You can see the drive, the splits the defender, draws the foul. Chance for a three-point play. I mean, you got to admire Eastern Washington, what they've done. They're only shooting 40% from the floor, 60 from the line, 20 from three-point line, and they've had 8 turnovers, yet they're only down by 1 possession, 3 points.
JoJo Anderson gets the three-point play. He's got 9 off the bench. And it cuts the Idaho lead in half with 11:43 to go. And a foul down low. That's the third on Isaiah Moses, who is battling for position.
Well, that's a smart play. I mean, you're going to post up the smaller guard. That's going to happen. You're going to lose. You're going to draw some fouls or give up an easy basket.
Up the inbound, right to the basket, and a foul. They find Seth Joba, and he was hacked by Kyrie Huey.
That's good execution again underneath the basket. Good pass fake. There's a finish. Tried to dunk it. Maybe could have laid it up, but he saw he had a window. He had a pass.
2 shots for Joba. 4 points off the bench for the native of Orchard Park, New York. Long way to Moscow, Idaho from upstate New York.
Well, he's making it work.
2 years at Vermont and nails both free throws. Idaho by 5.
Now the 6'9" junior has given them a lift. Nice to have size. Now you see the Vandals go into their 2-3 zone, making Eastern Washington have to hit some outside shots. They haven't hit a lot.
Isaiah Moses trying to draw a foul, just flipped it up. Offensive rebound, Kyrie Huey. Moses crashing. And going for the rebound. And there's a foul inside on Idaho.
Isaiah Moses asking the officials, what I got to do to get a foul call. Might have been a little contact on that three. Try to put it up. That one looked a little cleaner. There's a three. He thought there was some body, and he actually continued his motion. Dan Munson making the case that, hey, my guy got hit in the leg on that play.
Third foul on Jack Payne. JoJo Anderson off a high screen. And losing his balance, Kyrie Hewitt. Extra pass, Pico Johnson. And a foul underneath, and it's on the Eagles.
That's good ball movement, though. That's getting a defensive rebound and getting an open look in transition.
Third on Kyrie Huey of Eastern Washington.
Well, there's the foul. A lot of substitutions by both teams here tonight.
Deflected out by Stratton Rogers. Will stay at this end with the Vandals. Eastern Washington has won 9 of their last 10. Their 8-game winning streak snapped by Idaho. Last Monday in Chino. Vandals winning both matchups in tight ball games this year and have the lead since the opening tip tonight. And a 7-point lead again.
Well, I like the matchups, just trying to get mismatches. Vandals taking advantage of their size.
Jack Payne now with 7 points. Moses using a physical screen. He gets knocked down, and Pico Johnson, boy, he was level trying to chase down Moses.
Let's look at Jack Payne. You can see he's just going to spin and use his size. And now you see what Isaiah Moses has done all season is drawing the foul and trying to get a finish there. He's taken a good couple of licks today, but he's a tough kid. He's not going to back down or stop being aggressive.
Fourth on Jack Payne. Isaiah Moses now 3 for 3 at the line.
Yeah, that's a danger when you play Moses. I mean, we talked about he's a 93% free throw shooter. He doesn't just make free throws, he gets to the line. So, you know, you've got to devise some type of defense to try to limit or keep him off balance. And Alex Scribble talks about that today in shoot around. He's going to do whatever he can to keep him off balance. So far, he's done a decent job.
#1 foul shooter in the conference, nails both. Just about the midway point of half number 2. Idaho led by as many as 13 in the first half. It's an 8-point lead at the break for the Vandals. Jackson Rasmussen backing his way in. Knocked away by Moses. Pico Johnson recovers. Inside 5 to shoot. Long 3 from Johnson. And the rebound grabs Stratton Rogers for Eastern Washington. JoJo Anderson attacks to the bucket. And the rebound, Brody Robury for Idaho. Last touch by the Vandals. And Robury says, no, we should challenge this. Should be our ball.
Eastern Washington.
That angle seemed to be off the Vandals. Good decision.
Not getting challenged by Idaho. Diving for the loose ball, coming away with it, Colton Mitchell. Speeds up the floor. Mitchell all the way around and goes.
I don't know how he got that up and over. He didn't high jump. He broad jumped, but he got it to the rim.
14 for Mitchell. Honorable mention All Big Sky this year. Isaiah Moses, pull up. And a foul going for the rebound. His bodies went crashing. As the Eagles just 1 for their last 8 from the field.
Watch Colton Mitchell. I mean, he crosses over, delays, gets to the rim, just kind of didn't get up off his feet very much, but he got a good head start to the basket and finishes.
Third foul on Brody Robury. And with 8:53 to go, we're going to have another check of the monitor here in Boise.
The previous play is under review.
The last play is under review. This was not a challenge, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what they're reviewing. Potential hook and hold, maybe? It's under review. Idaho by 7, 8:53 to go. The last play is under review, and we're trying to play the home version like you guys at home about what they're looking for. I'm guessing for a hook and hold right there. At 0, Brody Robury got tangled up with Alton Hamilton going to the deck. And that's my process of elimination, maybe a hook and hold.
After further review, the play is confirmed. Common foul and 0 black, and it'll be white ball on the baseline.
Stays a common foul, no hook and hold, so no flagrant one. As you see, Robury and Hamilton are tangled up right there. And it stays a common foul, the third personal on Brody Robury. Team foul number 6 on Idaho. Johnny Radford gets it down low to Hamilton, who's doubled. Marquardt short on the 3, and it's grabbed by Jackson Rasmussen for the Vandals.
That was a good double down on Hamilton. They put 2 on the post player down low, caused a quick pass out shot.
Isaiah Brickner. Colton Mitchell launches. 3!
He's lethal, Roxy. I mean, you let Colton Mitchell go, and my goodness, can he put the ball in the basket.
And then after the play, after the made 3 from Mitchell, Brody Robury was involved with something inside. Eric Curry stopped play and pointed at him, and now they're going back to the monitor.
Well, there's certainly been a lot of challenges and play reviews. I didn't see much.
That is being reviewed. Count the basket because the shot was well out of the hand of Colton Mitchell, and they're reviewing that collision inside involving Brody Robury. Idaho back to a double-digit lead. So during the timeout, they reviewed that collision involving Brody Robury underneath. Count the made 3 for Colton Mitchell, but then Robury was assessed a common foul as he shoved down Johnny Radford after the main bucket. So that puts Eastern Washington into the bonus, and Radford will shoot a 1-and-1 at the other end of the floor.
And Robury has 4 fouls. Is that, if I'm correct, counting right,
Yeah,
that's a big, he's on the bench. That's a big loss down the stretch of this game.
Johnny Radford hits the first. He'll get the bonus. 83% foul shooter, his first point of the night. He had 12 off the bench last night in their win against Weber State.
Well, now if you're Eastern Washington, you can certainly attack inside a little more freely. The Vandals may go back to their zone.
Approaching 8 minutes to play. Nico Johnson spins. Johnson, high archer, and 1, Biko Johnson.
He did this last night to secure their victory, and he's doing it again. He's doing this. I mean, there's just pretty good defense. He just circles Moses and gets to the rim. I mean, that's just a tough play and gets the contact.
Third foul on Stratton Rogers. Biko Johnson, the and 1 free throw. It's Idaho by 11, their largest lead of the second half.
Big basket. Vandals now 2-2-1 back to the 2-3. They're going to try to play without their big fella Robury, who's on the bench with 4.
Eastern Washington just 1 for their last 9 from the field. They missed their last 6. Have not made a field goal in about 4 minutes. Kyrie Huey inside. Huey off the window, spins around and goes. Colton Mitchell right to the basket. And a quick burst down the lane. 19 for Mitchell.
And he's asking for the end one. He's got some spunk.
Isaiah Moses finds Huey out of the double team. Moses launches. Had a good look at the three. And a foul going for the rebound. And it's on Idaho.
Colton Mitchell just turns the corner. He's got a little extra motor, gets to the rim, says, hey, I got fouled too.
Fourth foul on Isaiah Brickner.
Well, that's huge. That's a big loss there because now he's got to sit. They've got to be cautious. They can't allow two of their starters to be out of the game for long, but they're going to have to take a seat.
3 Vandals with 4 fouls. Robury, Isaiah Brickner, and Jack Payne. And there might be a little blood for Stratton Rogers, or it's a contact. I think it's a contact lens issue for Rogers, who was fouled and will shoot a 1-and-1 on the 8th team foul.
Well, good news for Idaho is they can go and play their zone to stay out of foul trouble, hopefully, and make Eastern Washington knock down some threes, which they haven't done. The problem is for the Vandals is Eastern Washington's finding a way to get to the rim even against the zone. That shouldn't happen. But Eastern Washington is very aggressive. They've got some players that really attack.
So an issue with the contact. The athletic trainer for Eastern Washington, she comes out to attend to Rogers in dealing with the contact. Okay, not sure what the cell phone does involved. unless it's working as a mirror. Okay, now it's a mirror to help him take care of the lens.
Come on, Rox, that's something I would say.
I don't think it's a good time for a selfie.
My kids would know this.
But I don't know when it's a bad time for a selfie, but Stratton Rogers a 1-and-1. 3 for 4 at the line tonight. 5 points for Rogers. And he'll get the bonus. Now 4 for 5 at the stripe. Rogers, there's a number of Eastern Washington players that moved up from the NAIA ranks. Rogers one of them, Johnny Radford, Alton Hamilton. And we're seeing more and more of that across college basketball, players moving up a level and having success from a lower level and challenging themselves and playing well at a higher level.
Well, Rox, I can remember all the way back to my years in Eastern Michigan, had a Division II player, took it to the Sweet 16. Marcus Kennedy, it happens.
Colton Mitchell. That's a long challenge three. Mitchell's feeling it. Colton Mitchell. Largest lead of the night matched by Idaho.
That's confidence.
Kyrie Huey in the paint. Huey and one.
Eastern Washington not going away. I mean, that's a big three that they just gave up, but they come right back and just get it the old-fashioned way. They're not settling in for shots. Let's watch Huey go to work. I mean, he operates. He gets it inside, a lot of contact. Roxy, he's doing this against a double team. I mean, that's impressive. There's two defenders on him, and he's still finding a way to get to the rim.
17 for Kyrie Huey, but he is just 1 for 5 from the line tonight. And he gets the free throw.
So negate the three-pointer that just got scored, and we're back again to a 10-point lead.
Six minutes to play. Semifinal number 2. The winner will play Montana for the championship of Starch Madness in downtown Boise tomorrow night. Pico Johnson. And that was changed by Kyrie Huey. JoJo Anderson hits the trailer. Huey down the lane. And ripping the rebound down, Jackson Rasmussen for Idaho. Trayvon Blasingame. And a good box out by JoJo Anderson, and Eastern Washington pushes. Anderson to the bucket. Anderson and one. Anderson has had a strong game off the bench against his former team.
Well, how about the transition basket? I mean, they do a great job. You miss the shot on one end and you race it down there on the other. That's just a way when your team's not putting the ball in the basket from free to score. They're doing a great job of attacking the rim in transition and even in the half court.
11 off the bench for JoJo Anderson. A timeout for Idaho. 5:23 remaining. 66-58 Vandals. The 7 seed leading the 3 seed Eastern Washington, with the 4 seed Montana waiting in the wings, who knocked out the Big Sky champs, the top seed in this tournament, Portland State, as we check the bracket for Starch Madness at Idaho Central Arena here in downtown Boise. With earlier tonight, phenomenal performance, Money Williams leading the way for Montana as they knocked out Portland State 75-72. So it's the Grizz against either the Vandals or the Eagles tomorrow night for the automatic berth for the Big Sky.
And I always like to be that team, Roxy, in Montana that gets that. I know it seems like a little, but it's a lot. That's a couple extra hours when you've played consecutive nights. So they're waiting on the results, and they get to scout their opponent, which is nice. So that should be a good matchup, whoever shows.
Travis DeCure and his staff sitting back behind us. JoJo Anderson missed the free throw, and a foul going for the rebound on the Eagles.
That's tough break there, but no bonus.
Third and Alton Hamilton. And that's team foul number 6.
He's still got some fouls to give, but time dwindling.
Next foul puts the Vandals in the bonus.
Vandals are going to have to attack the zone now. You see extended zone by the Eagles.
Nico Johnson. Jackson Rasmussen lines it up. 3!
That's just good ball movement, the attack and the pitch back. That's smart basketball.
Back to a double-digit Idaho lead. Alton Hamilton missing from deep, and Seth Joba the rebound for the Vandals. JoJo Anderson hustling off of Anderson, and it stays an Idaho ball with 9 to shoot.
Well, it's fortunate for the Vandals. They don't want to turn it over here, but here's the three-point shot. Watch the penetration by Biko Johnson and the pitch back just in the right spots. Guys got to know where their teammates are.
There's a comfort for the Vandals playing in this building. This is the 6th game Idaho has played here inside Idaho Central Arena this season. 3rd in this tournament. They played an exhibition game here back in November against Boise State. Or actually in late October played Boise State in here. And then a holiday tournament Thanksgiving weekend in this building. A lot of familiarity with this arena downtown Boise for the University of Idaho. And the rebound tipped out, and Kyrie Huey hands it off for the Eagles. Isaiah Moses penetrates. Moses on the baseline. Finds Huey.
That's what he does. He's so good in the seams. And what I mean, Rox, he just steps into the open area, takes what the defense gives him, but he's tough in there.
4th 20-point game for Huey this season.
Well, now the Vandals will try to pull it out, see if they can get some mismatches. Eastern Washington back to the man-to-man.
Inside 10 to shoot. Colton Mitchell. And a tie-up. Arrow stays with the Vandals, and 5 on the shot clock. 3:17 remaining. Idaho leading it by 9.
The Queens Royals go to their school's first ever NCAA tournament. Put purple on your brackets. The Dukes are delirious as JMU barges back into the big dance.
The Panthers go back to
6 for Eastern Washington. 7 here. So
it is a very good day to be a High Point Panther.
These are the tickets punched tonight on the bottom as the Gonzaga Bulldogs, as they exit the West Coast Conference, beat Santa Clara, and Mark Few and the Zags heading officially back to the big dance, even though there was no doubt they were going. Just now they capture the WCC Tournament Championship. Off the inbound, Jackson Rasmussen 3.
He's hit some big threes, Roxy. I don't know if any's been as big as that. They needed that one because Eastern Washington's right back in this game.
JoJo Anderson penetrates. Kyrie Huey. Isaiah Moses. The Eagles need him to get going. Off balance. And the rebound grab by Colton Mitchell for Idaho.
Well, you're the Vandals now. You don't have to be in a hurry. You want to knock about 25 seconds off this shot clock before you look to score.
Mitchell leans in. Off the window. Colton Mitchell.
Have a game, big fella.
24 for Mitchell and a 3. Elijah Thomas, timeout, Eastern Washington.
Well, you can't celebrate if you're the Vandals. They got a little happy, and the Eagles said, we're not going anywhere yet. You're playing against the Eagles. You got to keep your pedal in the metal. But here's Mitchell. I mean, just gets to the rim. He's done this all night. He's hit some huge baskets, but here you can see the Vandals just don't get back in defense. They're celebrating, and that's the biggest fear you have as a coach, is to get your players to get back and set up defensively.
2:09 remaining.
Well, and here's the other thing, Rox. You've got the Eagles have the ability to shoot 2 free throws the rest of the way.
Coming up Sunday. We have you covered on Selection Sunday once again. It all starts at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with Sports Center on ESPN. Reese and the guys look at the men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced, followed by bracketology. Breakdowns of each region. Then at 8, the women's field of 68 is revealed with a complete breakdown of each matchup at 9 Eastern. Sunday on ESPN. Inside 2 minutes and a foul as Jack Payne gets knocked down. And he will go to the line at 1-1.
That was a good double team. If without the foul, that might have been a turnover.
4th on Stratton Rogers.
You know, the Vandals have done this, Roxy, without 2 of their starters who've been on the bench, 3 now. They've done a good job. Their bench players have stepped up this game.
1-1. Payne 2 for 2 at the line tonight. 79% on the season.
And depth pays off in tournaments. You're going to need extra guys. Foul trouble, fatigue, back-to-back nights. Vandals have really played at a high level with their bench players.
And for Idaho, they're playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. For Eastern Washington, they're playing in consecutive evenings, as they played last night, their 1st game of the tournament. JoJo Anderson gets inside, and a foul will get Anderson to the line with 1:52 remaining.
Well, that's smart, Roxy. You don't settle for shots. You haven't been knocking shots down. And again, you're stopping the clock. You're prolonging the game. You're getting 2 shots every time down.
First on Colton Mitchell. One more for JoJo Anderson.
Our previous game saw this kind of scenario, only to see Montana have to hold on, as obviously they let the lead slip away and cut it to 3 with pressure. Things can happen.
And it's pushed out of bounds by Idaho, and it belongs to Eastern Washington.
Well, these are extra possessions that the Eagles are earning by their aggressiveness. Now you got Hamilton coming back in. And Roberry making his presence known, playing with 4.
And a 3, too strong from Elijah Thomas, and it's grabbed by the Vandals. Jack Payne will bring it back out.
A smart play. Had a chance going for layup. Didn't think about it. Time's your friend. Best friend right now.
And a foul on JoJo Anderson. His first. Biko Johnson will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
Well, we said this earlier, Roxy. If the Vandals can hold on, they got a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a while.
Alex Pribble in Idaho, 125 away from a date with Montana tomorrow night in the Big Sky Championship game. Front end missed, grabbed by Eastern Washington. Isaiah Moses, and it's stripped by Biko Johnson, but he's out of bounds.
Well, nothing's been easy for Isaiah Moses tonight. He's really struggled, but he's a basketball player.
Alton Hamilton lays it in. Timeout, Eastern Washington.
Yeah, good timeout. 10 points, with a little over a minute to play. If you're the Eagles now, you got to try to just make this game last. There's going to be some fouls down the stretch of this game, but Colton Mitchell's been the answer, Roxy. He's been, every time there's been, the game's gotten narrow, he's hit some big shots, and he's hit them from all over the court. He's knocked down big shots at the rim. He's knocked down big threes on the perimeter, creating shots for himself. I mean, he's been a load, not an opposing player. Boy, he's skilled, and he's got that confidence level. You can't sell the importance of confidence.
1:14 remaining. 10-point lead for Idaho, and there's the night for Colton Mitchell.
Wow.
Made 3 threes, 24 points for Mitchell. As Colton Mitchell's honorable mention All-Big Sky this year. Came in averaging 13.5 points, 4 assists a game. And he also has 3 assists with the 24 points and 5 rebounds. But a tremendous performance tonight by Mitchell. And some big shot making by Jackson Rasmussen as well for Idaho.
Well, first order of business if you're Idaho, get it in, don't turn it over. If you're Eastern Washington, you got some time to try to get a steal, but then you got to play the foul game.
Still one more 1-and-1 on a foul by the Eagles. And then it becomes the 2-shot penalty. Mitchell needs to hustle to get it across, and they just beat the 10-second count. And now Biko Johnson is fouled.
Well, that was close. That was at 9.
4th on Isaiah Moses. 1-and-1 for Johnson. He just missed the front end of a 1-and-1. He's 3 for 4 at the line tonight.
Well, this would be a big win for Idaho for a couple of reasons. They're playing against Eastern Washington, who's been a hot team in this league. And they pretty much led coast to coast here.
And he missed. Inside a minute.
Idaho in his own.
Johnny Radford from way out there missing a 3. And a foul going for the rebound. It's on Brody Roberry, and he is fouled out here with 53.7 to go. Free throws for Eastern Washington.
Well, big fella needs to get off the floor and not have any commentary with the officials because they've called technicals already. You don't want to see a technical foul in these games tonight. You've seen them happen in the earlier game. And Alex Pribble saying, hey, let's get to the bench. Let's play the game. Let's not talk. We're 53 seconds away from playing in a championship. Last thing you want is a technical foul or something to get the official's ire.
2 shots for Stratton Rogers. 4 for 6 at the line. And it rolls in.
Well, you've got the Vandals have their free throw shooters out on the floor. Pretty much have to protect the ball and make some free throws.
And Rogers hits both. Now the full court pressure from Eastern Washington. Jack Payne trying to kill some time. And they foul Rasmussen with 41.2 to go. And Stratton Rogers is fouled out.
And you just don't have a lot of time. That ball gets across. Got a foul. I mean, Rasmussen's hit some big shots for the Vandals.
But he's 0 for 3 from the line tonight. 15 points for the freshman from Meridian, Idaho, who set an Idaho freshman scoring record this year. Big Sky Freshman of the Year. Goes 1 for 2. Isaiah Moses well behind the line. And the long rebound tipped out to Biko Johnson. And he is fouled with 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you can see the heartbreak now. We talked about this in the open. You see the jubilation with one team, the heartbreak knowing that your season's coming to an end. Tough. If you're Eastern Washington Eagle and Dan Munson's team, I mean, he's just brought them back in big fashion this year. They played great basketball, but they were up against it tonight in Idaho. Idaho's played at another level.
2 shots for Biko Johnson. And Johnson hits both. 11-point game. JoJo Anderson. And the rebound, Colton Mitchell out of the pack. And Mitchell, and he's fouled, and Isaiah Moses is done for the night. And with 19 and a half seconds to go, the Idaho Vandals are sensing a championship matchup with Montana here in Boise tomorrow night.
This home court crowd, you can call it a home court for the Vandals. They're giving their team a big look. I mean, this is special. It just hasn't happened. It's something that hasn't happened in a while. And they've had some decent programs over the years, but this is special. Hats off to the Vandals for getting to the championship. They'll have 24 hours. It's not a lot of time, but you know what? Kids are resilient. You get a chance to play in a championship game, you're going to find a way to get yourself ready.
25 for Mitchell. And tomorrow night when they tip it off against Montana, it'll be their 4th game in 5 nights.
Roxy, you and I might not be able to play. They can play. They'll be fine. They'll be good.
JoJo Anderson missing a 3. Colton Mitchell the rebound. And Idaho will run out the clock. Win number 20 for Alex Pribble and the Vandals. And they will play Montana for the Starch Madness Championship tomorrow night in Boise. And a terrific performance from the outset by the Vandals tonight. They have won 6 of their last 7, and they cool off an Eastern Washington team that has been playing tremendously down the stretch.
And you know, that's what happens when you play a team that's been as hot as Eastern Washington. You raise your level, and that's a credit to your opponent. So hats off to the Vandals, but they were ready. They were prepared today for Eastern Washington, and they showed it. They were up from the opening tap. They built a big lead, saw it evaporate, but they held on at the end, and they did it with a couple guys in foul trouble. So onwards and upwards, they got the Grizzlies from Montana and Travis DeCure and his team tomorrow night.
For the first time in 12 years, Idaho will play for a Big Sky Tournament championship as they will take on the Montana Grizzlies, who are the defending Big Sky Tournament champions. In fact, Montana's won this tournament 12 times, and they will play Idaho tomorrow. The 4th seed Grizz, the 7th seed Vandals, and Idaho's young guys stepped up. Colton Mitchell, 26 points. Jackson Rasmussen, 16. They led the way for the Vandals tonight.
Well, and now you're going to have to play a champion. Sometimes you got to beat a champion to be a champion. So the Vandals won't care who they play. They're in the championship, but they're going to have their work cut out for them. Should be a great final tomorrow night.
Money Williams and the Montana Grizzlies await Idaho in the championship game tomorrow night after Montana knocked out Portland State earlier tonight. And then in the nightcap, it was Idaho upending the 3 seed Eastern Washington. So we have the 7th seed against the 4 seed for the Big Sky Tournament Championship in Idaho tomorrow night. 81-68, the Vandals win it. For Ben Braun and our terrific ESPN crew in Boise, Roxy Bernstein, so long from Starch Madness.